In 1 week, I am having surgery to address my lipedema. And I felt like I needed to come and just explain why and how I got to this point.
Hi everyone, I'm Colin and I'm here to do a highly requested video. And I'm just doing voiceover because I'm really busy and I just don't have time to do much editing. Of course, it would figure Anna would drop huge news right when I don't have any time. Obviously a joke, Anna's health is way more important than my silly little YouTube channel. If you haven't heard, Anna O'Brien, aka GlitterAndLazers, recently announced she's having surgery for a condition called lipedema. And if you don't know what lipedema is, oh buddy. Well, even the definition is a little debated in the medical community, but just to give a very broad description, it's a condition which causes the overgrowth of fat on the legs and sometimes the arms, and it's pretty resistant to diet and exercise. It's not like normal fat. Also, people with lipedema typically have a lot of pain and it can decrease their mobility. There is no cure for lipedema, just ways to manage the pain and immobility it causes. Some people elect to have surgery to remove the lipedema tissue, which is what Anna is doing. If you've kept up with my community tab, I did not plan to cover Anna's YouTube video explaining this, and honestly, I'm still a little conflicted about it. I have a lot of issues with the things she says in the video, and I've seen a lot of people point out how manipulative this video comes across, but I do genuinely believe she is anxious and scared about surgery, and whether or not she's actually crying liquid tears, I do believe that emotion is there. I do believe she's feeling desperate and like this is her only option. And critiquing anything from this highly emotional video is going to feel like bullying. Maybe that's the point. As you may know, I might have mentioned this a few hundred times, but I am scripting a video about lipedema, so I have a lot more thoughts about this than I'm going to say in this particular video, but I'm hoping this video kind of serves to catch you up to speed about what's going on. I do know a lot of people only watch Anna through reaction channels, and there were a lot of viewers who hoped I would talk about it. And I do appreciate that. I'm grateful to have any audience at all, and I do read your comments and take what you say into consideration. So, Anna originally announced on June 25th that she was planning on having surgery, and she announced this on her Instagram story.
Hi, my name's Anna, and if you're new here, I have lipedema. And if you don't know what lipedema is, that's okay, because a lot of people don't. Basically, it's an adipose disorder or a fat disorder, which is caused by a leaky lymphatic system. So basically, your fat changes and becomes resistant to being burned, either by exercise or by dieting. So what ends up happening to those fat cells is they kind of get hard and what's called fibrotic, and then they really freaking hurt. And that's what I'm dealing with right now. And I have decided, because I'm in so much pain, that I am going to have surgery to have those cells removed. And it is going to be a process. But I ultimately think it's going to give me a lot of my mobility and joy back. Now, I was managing the condition pretty well with conservative treatments and through the power of modern medicine. But going off that medicine for surgery has made me realize that I was treating the symptom and not the problem. So I'm excited to hopefully be in less pain.
As you probably know, Instagram stories disappear after 24 hours, so I have to screen record those while I can. She's been posting what she's calling vlogs on her stories for the past few days, and I personally would not call them vlogs, but that's splitting hairs. And this first one seems very scripted and peppy and upbeat. A way different vibe than the YouTube video she posted the next day. The YouTube video, titled "I'm Having Surgery," starts with this kind of highlight reel of all the highly emotional things she's going to say in the video.
I am having surgery to address my lipedema. I am trying to smile through it and I'm trying to live through it, but I am crying a lot. I can't help feeling like a failure. And I know sharing this, I am going to get shredded online. I know that is what so many people are going to do.
And I think this struck a lot of people as manipulative from the start. She's playing what I call her crying music. It's very dramatic. And it sucks because I genuinely believe there are parts of this video that are her real emotions, real vulnerability, real transparency. But it loses its impact when it's overproduced like this. There's that TV trope called Full House music where they play that sentimental music that makes you cry at the touching moment of the show. And I won't lie, that works on me. I think that's why she does this. But Full House is a cheesy sitcom. This is supposed to be real life. I see right through what she's doing and it feels icky. So one of the first things that struck me was that she admitted to being on Wegovy. She actually also admitted to this on an Instagram story, which I believe was posted the same day, but before the YouTube video was posted. I think at least they were both filmed on the same day because she was wearing the same outfit.
Hi, my name's Anna, and if you're new here, I have a condition called lipedema, and I'm getting surgery to treat it in 6 days. It's been really hard for me going off of Wegovy, which I had to do in preparation for the surgery. For me, Wegovy, yes, helped my appetite, but it also significantly affected my inflammation and pain. And they've seen in studies about rheumatoid arthritis that this has helped other people. I don't know if it's helped people in the case of lipedema or if it's just me, if I'm a weirdo and I magically gotta leg up, but having that mask taken away, that thing that protected me from experiencing some of the things related to my condition, has been really eye-opening and also just really uncomfortable.
And I say admitted because although we did know she was on weight loss medication, we didn't know which one. And for most people, this wouldn't matter. I don't care. But for Anna, she was extremely cagey about it, even when she was literally being sponsored by Novo Nordisk, the company who makes Wegovy and Ozempic.
One of the biggest misconceptions I think people have about me is that I eat all the time or something. I actually often have to remind myself to eat.
For quite a while, she was implying that she lost weight through exercise alone, and people called her out because they suspected she was on Ozempic or Wegovy, and she finally admitted it in a really bitter way. So this, I thought, was an attempt for her to be more transparent, but actually the reason she admitted to being on Wegovy was because now she says she's off Wegovy as a precaution for surgery. And she says she always experienced low-grade pain from her lipedema, but going off Wegovy made it way, way worse, and now she has new pain in places like her arms and shoulders. This was really confusing to me. She seems to be confused by it as well, but what's even more confusing is that even though she attributes that pain to going off Wegovy, she's also implying the way to fix it is the surgery. That doesn't make any sense to me. Unless she's trying to say the lipedema pain has been progressively getting worse, but somehow the Wegovy has been masking that, I have no idea. Big question marks on that point. What's more is that she says her mobility has tanked.
I started to have difficulties walking distances. For me, walking 5 to 6 miles in a day was pretty normal. It was something I did, at least that's what my Apple Watch told me. And now I was walking 2-3 miles and things started to really hurt.
Now this, I also find extremely confusing. I know I and other reactors gave her a lot of grief for walking the 5K, though she claimed to be running. But I do think that distinction between running and walking really matters for this point. A 5K is a little over 3 miles, and she really struggled to walk that. We watched her walk it on camera. A professional physical therapist told her she was just speed walking. And speed walking is more difficult than regular casual walking, but it still took a lot out of her. She says her Apple Watch tells her she walks 5 to 6 miles a day, and who am I to argue with Apple, but it's hard to reconcile those things in my brain.
So I'd been on the Wegovy for about, I'm gonna say 8 months, and I just stopped losing weight. And I was keeping around an 1,800 to 2,000 calorie diet, and I was training for my 5K.
This, I think, is just flat out false. Because I myself eat 1,800 to 2,000 calories and walk a few miles a day. and I've been maintaining my weight at about 136 pounds. Do I think she's lying? Well, not really. Statistically speaking, human beings are terrible at estimating calories. That's why it's very important to get an accurate food scale if you're going to count calories. I don't believe she's doing this. I think she's eyeballing and vastly underestimating. The problem is that she uses this as evidence that she can't lose weight normally.
You cannot, especially if you're in the later stages like I am, just magically eat well and exercise it away. I am living proof of that. I think there are some very special people where that works, and that's why it's not a cut and dry line. But I know for me and my body, I have done everything right, and I have to take solace in that I have done everything I possibly could do on my own, and it's not worked.
The truth is, with or without lipedema, at her size, there's no way she could be eating that much and not losing weight. Even if I lowball her weight at 400 pounds, her maintenance is somewhere around 3,000 to 3,500 calories. If she really were eating 1,800 to 2,000, the weight would be flying off. But then she claims bigger bodies are gaslit their whole lives.
I'm not the problem. The condition is the problem. And that's hard because, like, as a bigger body, you're just gaslit your whole life to feel like you're the problem.
This is something I hear a lot from the body positivity / fat acceptance community. I'm honestly irritated by the term gaslighting in this context because Anna is telling us I eat 1,800 calories, and she's also telling us her weight loss stagnated. To most people, this would obviously be a contradiction, but to Anna, there's no possibility she could be mistaken. If the audience or her doctors don't believe her, we're calling her a liar and gaslighting her. So Anna says her doctors told her since she plateaued with her weight loss, she needed to address her lipedema. And she was very flippant about it, like, oh, I thought the doctors would just tell me about all the management strategies I've already heard before.
I went to the doctor again, still wasn't losing weight. So she was like, we're gonna try a different medicine combo, but I think you need to see somebody about your lipedema before we make any big decisions. And I was like, okay. And I literally just felt like they're going to tell me the same things that I've heard from every doctor. And I've heard about my lipedema from my obesity specialist, which was who I was seeing, my vascular surgeon because of like my spider veins and circulatory issues as a result of lipedema, also from my primary care doctor. And I just felt like it was going to be like the dry brushing, the self-lymphatic massage, wearing compression socks, compression pants if I can find ones that fit me correctly, which I couldn't at the time, changing my diet, which I'd already done, exercising, maybe reducing the high impact stuff. Like I knew that that's what I was going to hear. And so I didn't expect anything different.
She claims she couldn't find any to fit her, but she absolutely has the means to get custom compression garments, and custom garments are actually highly recommended for lipedema. And look, I've never seen her do any of these strategies. That doesn't mean she's not doing them behind the scenes, off camera, but I just think it's very interesting that suddenly she's wearing compression socks openly in public on her social media, and even linking to the Amazon page where she got them.
I did see several doctors, and every single one of them said the same thing, which was that I was very close to losing mobility, which was extremely shocking to me because I felt great. I didn't have pain. My inflammation was like under control. So I was like, I'm fabulous, right? But every single one of them is like, ugh, you need to deal with this soon. And so, the first time I heard it, I was like, okay. Second time I heard it, I was like, you make a good point. Third time I heard it, I actually started to get scared.
This was another point that was extremely confusing to me. She claimed she felt great and her pain and inflammation were under control, and yet how many times have we heard her complain about pain? People told her running and jumping weren't safe, and she did indeed hurt her knees and ankles, though she wouldn't admit the suspected cause. When she lost her CPAP machine on the flight to the Virgin Cruise, she claimed she was in a lot of pain because of her lack of sleep, but then she turned around and blamed it on her lipedema and just recycled the same footage. I talk more in depth about these things in other videos. I do have a Glitter and Lasers playlist, by the way. I just feel conflicted about this. How on earth can you not know you're on the verge of immobility? I don't feel like you go from 5K, either running or walking, to immobile without feeling the degradation over time, or having an acute injury that you would definitely know about, like breaking your leg or something. I feel like there are a couple of possibilities. Either she's been misleading her audience about how mobile she is, or maybe there's some power of suggestion going on. Could be a million other things. But I'm no medical professional, so take what I say with a grain of salt. There could be some other things going on that she's not telling us, or she doesn't fully understand herself.
I know sharing this, I am going to get shredded online. I know that is what so many people are gonna do. I remember I watched a video, I don't even know who this creator was, I just watched someone's reaction.
I'm not gonna lie, when she said she was watching a reaction channel, I did have a mini heart attack. It was very clear she was talking about someone else, though.
Because of course I've been trying to figure out what happens when you get surgery, other people have been diagnosed, I'm curious, I'm acknowledging and accepting this, and it helps. That's why I'm making this, to help somebody else go through that journey maybe a little bit smoother. But this man made a video where she's she doesn't even pronounce the condition wrong. It's lipedema, not lipedema. And all I could think was, my doctor's only ever said lipedema. So, asshole man on the internet, you're wrong. And that's what I realized in that moment, was that everything I say, someone is going to tell me I'm wrong. And
I will say I was absolutely shocked to hear Anna say she watched reaction videos. We all know Amberlynn and Chantal are obsessed with reaction channels, and they talk about them constantly. But Anna never has before, as far as I know. I will say the Glitter and Lasers reaction community is relatively small and new, but it's been here. Now, I do know Anna reads the comments. She hardly ever responds, but she does sometimes mention hate comments. I really thought she had better boundaries than Amberlynn and Chantal, but I guess I was wrong. First of all, Anna, stop watching reaction channels. Even mine. I mean, part of the reason I even started commenting on her was because I thought some other people were unnecessarily rude. But I still think it wouldn't be a good idea for her to even watch me. Second of all, yeah, whoever that asshole man is, it is wrong. Most experts say lipedema, though lipedema is also an acceptable pronunciation.
And in the beginning, I was really open about everything going on. But as time went on, there was just so much criticism, and it affected my mental health. And I also was afraid that I would start making decisions based on what people thought of me versus what was actually best for me. So I decided at that point to pull back and to allow myself the time to make the right decisions. And that with the intention of maybe not ever sharing it. I'm glad I didn't do this sooner. And a lot of the reason I didn't do it sooner is because and this is so hard to say, I was scared of the optics, because I wanted to believe I could do it myself. And it felt like pursuing surgery, pursuing medical treatment was me being a failure. And that is just simply not it.
It's so interesting to me how the girls converge in their storylines sometimes. Because just recently, Amberlynn Reed, increased her semaglutide dosage because it was good for her channel.
But I was gonna start fresh this week because of a reason that was gonna be great, but then I was like, what if this isn't good for my channel? Long story short, y'all don't need to know about it. What needs to be known is that I am just so ready for this freaking shot.
And now Anna is saying she waited too long to treat her condition because she was afraid of the optics. Honey, good optics left your channel a long time ago. Influencers putting their content before their health is just wild to me. But that's also confusing. I am saying the word confusing a lot, huh? There's just so much contradiction within this video. It's a lot. I think I got distracted by the crying the first time I watched this, and I didn't recognize how often she contradicts herself or says things that don't make sense. So she says she put off treating her lipedema from the start because of the optics, but she also says the reason she's pulled back on talking about her weight loss is because she didn't want to be influenced by people's opinions. So which is it? She talks about how this isn't her fault, it's the condition's fault, and to some extent, sure, she can't control having lipedema, but what she can control is how she deals with it. I find it very doubtful that she's been keeping up with these pain management strategies that apparently she's heard a million times from specialists.
And I'll say this, and this is controversial, and I don't even freaking care anymore if I'm controversial, it's fine. But on one hand, people are telling you it is all your fault, and you are the problem, and you are making choices. that led you to this. And on the other hand, you have a community of people who are telling you you were just meant to be big, don't do anything about it. And guess what? Both of those are wrong.
Yeah, I don't think you can throw up your hands and say you don't care about being controversial anymore when you literally did the exact same thing like a year ago.
I hear two things about my body all the time. On one end, I hear from the body positive community or just general plus size community that I should love my body, accept it as it is, and learn to embrace and love everything about it. Okay? On the other side, I hear from people who are very anti-fat people in general, telling me that I should starve myself, that I should not eat, that I should exercise more. And frankly, I gave both of these audiences way too much of my attention.
Anna emphasizes in this video and plenty of past videos that treating lipedema is not about aesthetics.
And this isn't about aesthetics, this isn't about looking cute or being in clothes, but it's okay to pursue changes in your body for those reasons. But I am talking about a very different feeling when you feel like your body is fighting you. We'll talk about surgery for it. It's not for aesthetics. It's about quality of life.
And I feel like she thinks she has to reiterate this over and over because she's been in a toxic body positivity space for so long. She just cares so much about what these online strangers think. And again, I say, first of all, take care of your health first and foremost, but also, even if it were for aesthetics, who gives a shit? Anna says her lipedema is stage 4, which is considered the most advanced stage. And then she says this other confusing thing.
It seems like I'm producing lipidemic cells faster than I'm burning like healthy fat cells, which is part of the reason I stopped losing weight.
I just want to know where she got this idea, because that's not how fat cells work, even lipedema fat cells. Your body does produce new fat cells as you grow, but that production stops at adulthood. When you gain weight, the cells don't multiply, they expand. When you lose weight, they shrink. Those cells cannot expand and shrink at the same time. I have no idea what she's talking about here.
And I don't know if I've gotten the words right, but I think at this point it doesn't matter if I've gotten the words right. If you accept me and what's in my heart, that's great. And if you don't, I wish you a good day and goodbye.
Well, add that to the bingo card. It wouldn't be a very special episode of Glitter and Lasers without the old unfollow me spiel. Anna ended the video by saying people in her life have really stepped up and helped her out while she's been struggling, and that's great to hear. She says she felt like a burden on them, and I think a lot of people struggling with physical or mental illness feel that way. And it's just really unfortunate because the people who genuinely love you do not think you're a burden just because you struggle. Anna also said she's in therapy, which is fantastic. I'm so glad. I just really hope it's not BetterHelp this time. After watching the whole video, a couple things. Number one, Anna was so vague about surgery in this video. The number of people who came away from it thinking she was having bariatric surgery is astounding. And the thing is, I think she was purposefully vague about that. Because the surgery for lipedema is liposuction. And most people think of liposuction as a purely aesthetic surgery. I don't even necessarily blame her for leaving that out because I do think that word would set off alarms in people's heads and they'd come after her for just doing plastic surgery for aesthetics. That's something she's clearly concerned about. I don't think she should be concerned about that, but I get why she might have done this. Second of all, I think it's especially funny that people think she's having bariatric surgery because she's stated before that it wouldn't work for her because all the fat on her body is lipedema. And there's a lot of debate in the medical community about the extent of lipedema, and I myself am not an expert, but personally, I do not believe this to be true. Plenty of people diagnosed with lipedema are able to lose weight. They have disproportionate limbs a lot of the time, but they are able to lose the rest of it on their abdomen, back, face, etc. Now then, I mentioned before that Anna has also been posting on Instagram. Things over there have been interesting. The first thing I noticed is that she is aiming for a new audience. She changed her bio to include lipedema plus chronic illness. I don't think I have to tell you that illness communities have become huge on social media. And since Anna has announced this surgery, she has taken a hard swing into that community. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's difficult to not feel like it's a grift. I mean, it is Anna we're talking about. There are some influencers who've gotten surgery free of charge because they talked about the surgeon online. Feels creepy, but it is true. And like, I really wonder if that's going to be the case for Anna. Linking to her compression socks already feels like the start of a grift to me. I additionally think she's trying to capture a new audience because she continually introduces herself with, "Hi, I'm Anna and I have lipedema" on all of these videos.
Hi, my name's Anna, and if you're new here, I have lipedema. Hi, my name's Anna, and if you're new here, I have a condition called lipedema. It's Anna, and if you're new here, I have lipedema, and I'm having surgery on it in 6 days. My name's Anna, and if you're new here, I have lipedema.
This feels so reminiscent of someone else.
Hi, I'm Amberlynn Reed. I am 27 years old and I am 529 pounds.
There was speculation at the time that Amberlynn was trying to get on a reality TV show when she did this, and Anna doing this feels like a very similar vein. Except instead of reality TV, it's rebranding her social media. Honestly, a very similar concept in this day and age. I think this whole surgery journey is going to take Anna's social media in a whole new direction. I do still think she's going to talk about fashion and travel, but I have a feeling we're going to be talking about her health a lot more. It's something I don't necessarily feel qualified to talk about. That's why it's taken me so long to make this lipedema video. If I'm going to talk about medical issues while not being an expert, I have to make sure my facts are straight. Not only that, but lipedema is very confusing because there is a lot of debate about what it is and how to treat it. All this is to say, no matter how I feel about Anna and the information she's sharing, the surgery looks frankly brutal. I have seen videos online and honestly, I don't know how stuff like that is allowed on YouTube. If you look up Total Lipedema Care or Dr. Jamie Schwartz, I'm pretty sure that's who she's seeing. I could be wrong. I just have a feeling. But the method they do is frankly, it looks scary. And I have to imagine the recovery time and the pain after the surgery is going to be frankly just awful. And I just hope that Anna makes it through okay. I believe there are several more surgeries in her future, and I hope she gets through those as well. And I hope, she achieves her goals. I hope she has less pain and more mobility. As much as I clown on her for being so goofy and manipulative, I want her to be happy and healthy. But the other problem I have is that, I don't know, I'm getting the impression that since she has stated that she feels like she's doing everything right, she's not leaving any opportunity at all for her to improve her diet and her exercise. Like, she's been posting about how her exercise and her diet are perfect and on point, and then immediately turns around and posts something like this.
There's more to New York City than just Manhattan. So today we're in Brooklyn checking out Industry City, a really cool shopping center made up of small biz, getting this bear, a book I've been meaning to read, a hilarious toy for my godson, a Starbucks drink, some salted caramels, and a ton of Japanese snacks from Daiso. Let me know if you want me to film a little taste test.
At this point, it almost feels like trolling. But I actually don't think it is. I don't think it's trolling. I think she just has zero self-awareness about this stuff. Anyway, like I said, Anna has been posting her quote-unquote vlogs on her Instagram stories leading up to her surgery. Her surgery is going to be very soon. And, if anything else nuts happens, I'll try to pop in, even if it's a little voiceover like this. Thank you for stopping by for this Too Long Didn't Watch, and I'm sure there will be plenty more to say coming soon. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
And today we're flying to LA. So let's go. Our flight has been delayed over and over and over. So we were supposed to literally be in LA by now, but we are still waiting to take off. So that's a fun start to this trip. My knees are hurting so bad, and we have a 6-hour freaking flight. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna be very real with you. I feel terrible. Okay, our flight has been delayed again, and I really hope she says it again, but there's a child screaming, are we flying yet? The answer is no. No, we are not.
This is my solution, as I'm alternating one leg up to try to take some pressure off my knees.
Right, so I'm just gonna take this horrific trip as a sign that the surgery is gonna go well. That's what I'm gonna do. So see you guys tomorrow.